riding in a car through the streets of New Orleans, and it's pouring down rain. Roads ain't nothing but streams. And he's looking out the window. He turns to me and says, "Welcome to the quagmire, son." Then he shakes his head. He says something at the time I didn't really understand, because it came out of nowhere, and the man is so offhand. But anytime he wants to, he'll cut you like a knife. He said it all comes down to someone's money versus someone else's life. Now we're sitting in a bar in Soho. It's winter, it's dark, and we eating some spaghetti at this little jazz club by the park. He's laughing about a time way back in the past. This little joint in Tippo, folks used to stop for gas, put a nickel in the jukebox, make a little music play, have a cold Coca-Cola, hear what T-Bone had to say. And then he asked me, "Man, you ever hear about the bohog grind?" I said, "No." He said, "Me neither, baby, but that's what I'm gonna find." He's looking for the bohog grind. He said, "I don't worry about a thing, ain't nothing gonna be alright. I might be no one this morning, I was someone last night. I'm not talking, it just don't pay. I'm just trying to swing a little in my way." We in a recording studio in Manhattan, Paul Motion's at the drums. We're taking a slow 5 up. This story comes is about Brew Moore. He fell down the steps of Tivoli and dies. He's kind of laughing, he got a sad look in his eyes, and he says, "You know that man was never on the cover of a magazine, and he just got $1 million. Now the scene was clean. There was a moment of silence and respect for man's fate, and he said, if I ever write my book, I'm calling it Too Much Too Late." It's called Too Much Too Late. He said, "If you live, your time will come." He said, "Your mind is on vacation, your mouth is working overtime." He said, "Look, I got no trouble living, it's just dying that bothers me." He said, "Everybody's crying mercy, they don't know the meaning of the word. Yeah, the fool killer's coming. I do believe it's true." He said, "The fool killer's coming. You better try to make your getaway." He said, "Look here." He said, "What you think you're gonna be doing next year?" He said, "Ever since the world ended, I don't get out as much." He said, "Money ain't the answer, because it can't buy cancer." He said, "That gray-haired geezer you think you see, that ain't me." He said, "I'm just a lucky so-and-so, mixing up the boogie and the do-si-do." He said, "I'm mixing up the boogie and the do-si-do." He's just a mixing up the boogie and the do-si-do. He said, "Thank God for self-love. Thank God for self-love." He said, "Thank 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 God."